All right. Wait for people to file in. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi. Happy almost end of the week before the holiday week.
I was thinking about that. Our last webinar, we were a week from Thanksgiving, and now we're a week from Christmas
Look
Eve.
at that. Yeah. And I don't know about you guys, but I have a cabinet full of chocolate right now, and I'm using a lot of self control on a daily basis. It's really becoming a challenge.
Oh, I've been dreaming about how much I'm going to stuff my face next Thursday.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Are you kidding me? I'm already planning out what
Cookies.
I'm going to make each day. I'm like, I'm ready. So I guess we'll let everyone just file in for just a couple more minutes. Um, thank you guys, everyone, for joining us on this Thursday. Hopefully, this is a nice way to spend your Friday Eve, as I like to call it. We're going to cover a couple of different things today, actually, just two main features. We want to give you guys, oh, hi, Gordon.
Hey,
Hello.
Gordon. And
Um,
Lori. Hi,
and
Lori.
Lori, hi, Lori. We want to give you guys the opportunity to ask us questions about these features because they're some of our newer ones, and they're pretty big and packed full of small details. Hello, hi guys, hi Deborah. Nice to see everyone. How many of you guys have a cabinet full of chocolate like I do?
Honestly, I do too. So
Oh my gosh, it's terrible every time. And it's one of those things where it's the cabinet right between my desk and the coffee maker. So what goes great with some
with
coffee?
coffee, chocolate,
Oh, it's
always.
terrible. Hi,
And
Karen.
did you see
Happy
Debbie?
Thursday.
Are you sharing? She wants to know if you're sharing your chocolate.
Oh, I will send some your way. You can gladly take it off my hands. I'm like, I do not need it at all. I'll miss it when it's gone, but I don't
Yeah.
need it. Okay, it looks like we've got quite a few people jumping in. So we'll go ahead and just get started because we're just going to talk a little bit about what we're covering. So welcome to the Lindsay and Emily show. I regret to inform that we don't yet have a jingle. We will get one at one point.
We have to have one.
So we're going to talk about ways to save time this tax season. The two features that we're going to cover are Liscio Dispatch and Liscio for Outlook. We're going to cover everything from how do you get it, how do you use it, and then we want to answer your questions in between. So we'll do probably, if you guys have been with us on a Lindsay and Emily show, we're going to do the same kind of method where we're going to try and answer your questions live as we go along. It just helps to, get answers out there for everyone, answers that you, or questions that you may not have thought to ask. So we'll try and do that today. And we do have a sneak peek of a new feature at the very end that we will show you. So stick around. Oh, also, just like other webinars in the past, we are going to have a poll at the end about the resource package. Resource package is going to include videos, FAQ guides, articles about Liscio Dispatch and Liscio for Outlook. And then also we will give you guys the slides from the webinar. So keep that in mind and stick around to the very end if you want to get not only a sneak peek of a new feature, but also the resource package. So without further ado, we will go ahead and get started. So, oh, my, how could I forget? Of course, we're going to mention the Licio YouTube channel. Are you kidding me? If you've been on here before, you know that I can't plug it enough. So are you subscribed? If you're not subscribed, go to Licio CX on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. This is really great, honestly, because whenever there's a new feature, it's actually we're gonna have a video ready to drop the moment that it's released, and you will get notified of that and can learn about it. So subscribe if you're not already. And okay, let's get into it. So what is Liscio Dispatch, right? You guys have maybe heard about it a little bit. You may know something about it. Maybe you aren't using it yet, but we want to give you guys a full walkthrough of what it is and how you can use it. So Liscio Dispatch, it was really designed so you can bridge the gap between all of the different systems you may be using on the back end to serve your clients in the mobile world they live in. So the tool is actually going to be used for you guys to seamlessly and securely share PDF files from any system you're using that has a print to PDF function directly into Liscio. And you're actually going to be able to send a message with that file. So how does it save time, right? That's a big question because a lot of people say, great, a new feature, but what does it actually do for me? How does it save me time? So It's meant to cut down on the process that you may have previously been using. So your previous process may have looked like you're downloading from a system, right? Maybe it's QBO. You're uploading it to a portal. And then you got to go to your email, compose that email to your client with instructions. And then you're going to cross your fingers and hope that your client can get into your previous 90s looking portal, right? And download it. So that's where Liscio Dispatch will actually combine all of those steps into one. So it's going to bring everything together for you, make it way more of a seamless process. So how do I get this magical tool and how do I use it? And I hope you enjoy my lovely GIF. I found this and I was like, I have to use it.
You got to leave it there long and oh, perfect. Yep.
Yeah.
We're getting the action.
It's so cute. I was like, oh, perfect. Magic show. So I want to show you guys. So I'm going to really spend some time inside of the product now. Feel free to ask any and all questions throughout. Emily will stop me and ping me if there's a really good question to read out loud. I will also say that Emily's going to be a very a specialist on this. So she'll be able to help us with answers. We actually we have a question from Dan, and Dan, we'll get to your question as soon as I start showing the folders. So let's go into Liscio. So first of all, how do you get it, right? How do you get Liscio Dispatch? What you're going to do is go to your profile section, and that is going to be your name right here in the bottom left corner, right? So click on that. Now, if you have not been to your profile section in a while, you're going to notice there are some new items in here. So this section is actually being built out quite a bit. You are going to go to your Liscio download apps and download Liscio Dispatch. So you'll download it there. I'm not going to go through exactly how to install it because there is another opportunity to get you guys to our YouTube channel. There is a tutorial video. Why? Who thought I'd do that? There's a tutorial video on YouTube that's going to show you actually how to install it. And obviously, if you ever have any issues with it, just come to us and we'll help you out with it. But you're going to hit download and start to get that. I will mention if you guys have any security blockers or anything that will likely pop up and say, do you want to allow this? You can hit allow. You can trust us. So now with that, I see Emily laughing. Without further ado, I want to show you what this looks like once you get it installed and how to use it, right? So whenever Liscio Dispatch is installed on your computer, what it's going to do is automatically pin the Liscio Dispatch folder on your quick access toolbar. So there are a couple different ways that you can actually move files to Liscio Dispatch. And I want to show you one that's really simple that you can use. You can actually just drag and drop. So if you have something on your desktop, right, you can drag it and drop it into that folder. And that is actually going to prompt Liscio Dispatch to open for us, right? So this is opening. Now, if you are using Liscio Dispatch for the very first time, it's actually going to have you log into your Liscio account and you'll do that. And then you can tag your client. So this screen should look pretty familiar because this is going to be the same exact screen that you'd get in Liscio when you're uploading a file. You're going to choose the account. So always remember, guys, and this is a best practice when using Liscio, you always want the contact and you always want the account. It keeps things organized for you guys and for your clients. So I'm going to choose my Craig's Design and Landscaping. If I have multiple people that I want to upload this to, I'm just going to click right back into the to field and add people there. Rob, Craig's Landscaping is one of my best clients. I love that. One thing I want to point out here is the make private checkbox. Now, some of you guys may encounter this at some point in the platform. A lot of times it's automatically checked. Here it is not, because we are assuming that you are wanting to share this with your client. However, if you want to move a file over to Liscio and you don't want to share it with the client, you can choose the make private checkbox. And that is going to mean that that file is firm only. The client cannot see it. Now, you can always later on go into Liscio and share that file out. But if you don't want to at that point in time, hit the make private checkbox. But I do want to notify Leslie of this. So I'm going to choose the year and the month. I'm going to choose my tag here. This is required for you guys. You should know that by now. And then you can choose here to do two things. One, you can notify the client. So I can send a note with this, hi, Leslie, let's discuss. But if, like, let's say, for example, we all know that as tax season creeps closer and closer, you guys are working later and later. So if that's the case and you don't want to, notify your client at 2 a.m., let's hope that's not the case, you can hit this do not send message button.
We have a good question about this here from Caitlin. Can you upload multiple documents at the same time to the same client account? Answer is yes. Lindsay.
I told you you're the expert on this. I was like, you saw me like pause.
Just waiting for me to answer. Yes, Caitlin, you can. You can bring in as many files as you'd like here. It's going to be pretty much the same gigabyte size that you have in Lissio now, up to 5 gigabytes, and PDF only, as Lindsay mentioned. Just remember that any file that you bring in here is going to go to the same contact and account with the same year, month, and tag. So you'd want them to all be labeled as such. I do know that some people will bring things in and only have a single tag and then make it private, and then go in and further tag it with a different year, maybe another account, just to save time.
Perfect. Thank you. So I do want to get to, Dan, I want to get to your question because this is actually a perfect time to do it. So I'm just going to hit upload here. This file is going to go over to Licio. So Dan is asking, how do you keep Lissio Dispatch from removing a file in your computer when you slide it over to Licio? This is what I always do. If I have, like, let's say, some of you guys have really intricate folder structures, right? And you want to keep those the way that they are. The easiest way to do this, Dan, and anyone else who has this question, is to right click on that file, and I'm going to hit copy. And then all I'm going to do is over here at Lissio Dispatch, I'm just going to hit paste. So I have a copy in that original folder, and now I'm also sending that to Licio. I hope that makes sense. Okay, let me know if that doesn't. Any other questions that you think would be good to answer right now, Emily?
Yes, I do. Somebody wants to know if they can print from File Cabinet into Lissio Dispatch. Yes, you can print from any system. All you do is you find that dispatch folder within your quick access there, or if you're on a Mac in your Finder, and you're going to save those files to the dispatch. If you have any issues there, you just come to support and we'll walk through it with you.
Yeah, and I will actually be going over how to print from QuickBooks and Google Drive. So this is going to be a very similar process to what File Cabinet would be as well. So we'll show you that as well. Okay. Oh, and we have a good question from Carol. Yeah. So Carol's asking, does this replace the original Liscio desktop app? It does. So if you have not already uninstalled the original Lissio desktop app, go ahead and do that. And if you need instructions, there is, again, a YouTube video for that. What do you know? YouTube queen over here. So that's going to allow you to uninstall it, and then you'll go ahead and install Lissio Dispatch. Okay, let's see. Okay, so, and Karen is asking, how do you do multiple files? So Karen, all you'll do is you can select the files here and just bring both over to that folder. Yep. So before we move forward, any other questions you think we should answer before we?
Yeah, let's answer Rebecca. So Rebecca had a great question. Is dispatch available in terminal server environments? We are actually working on that right now. We are starting out with Infinitely Virtual because we are actually going to be partnering with them. We find that they have a really great server environment, and they're actually allowing us to test things out with Lissio Dispatch and Lissio for Outlook in a server environment, learn what we need to do to enhance our two features that will then allow them to work in other environments. So we are working on that currently. We're really excited about the partnership. And if you don't have a hosting environment and you're looking for one, or you're interested in finding out more about Infinitely Virtual, Lissio users will get a discount. So feel free to ask us questions if you have any about that. But just know we are working on terminal server environments.
Very nice. Yeah. And I think, if anyone that's working with Infinitely Virtual, we'd love to know your guys' experiences too. So definitely let us know.
You can also comment if you guys want to chat about it, your experience with Infinitely Virtual in the chat box. Feel free.
Absolutely. So I'm going to move to now how you print from any system that you're using that has a print to PDF function. So I showed you the drag and drop, right? Okay. Now I want to show you how you do this from, let's go here. So I have a nice little QuickBooks example for you guys. But like I mentioned, this will work with any system that has a print to PDF function for you guys. So you guys are going to see Craig's landscaping here. Craig's just a great client. So let's say, for example, that I want to print a report and I want to print this over to Liscio. So I'm going to go to my reports in QuickBooks or any other system you're using, and I'm going to use my profit and loss detail report here. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this open, and then I'm going to hit the print button up here in the upper right corner. So I'm hitting print, and then I'm just going to hit print right here. And this is the part, guys, where instead of, make sure it's not going to a printer because you don't want to print all of these pages, but what you want to make sure you're doing is saving it as a PDF, right? So I'm going to hit save, and then that should typically pop open the last folder that you were in, and then you're going to choose the Liscio dispatch folder. So I'm going to save P&L Craig's landscaping and hit enter, and I'm saving it there. Now, as soon as I hit save, it's actually going to pop open Liscio dispatch for me. So you're going to see that pop up, and then I'm going to be able to tag my client. So I'm going to choose Leslie again. Come over here, choose the account. So remember, this is a very important step. Don't forget to choose your account. Click OK. And then I'm going to tag the file here. So instead of downloading, uploading, emailing my client, I'm doing it all here in one step. So I'm going to say, hi, Leslie, for tomorrow's meeting. Okay. And I also remember, guys, you can hit that do not send message. That is actually just going to upload the file quietly in their Lissio account. So it's not going to notify them, but it will be available to them. And I'm going to hit upload. Now, I do want to show you guys just one more example of this. I'm going to show you guys in Google Drive. And then I do want to show you in Lissio how the file comes through, what you can do with the file once it's in there, stuff like that. So I'm going to choose my Google Drive up here, and I'm going to hit print. So this is an engagement letter. So let's say, for example, I've got this in Google Drive, but I may want to use it for an e-signature, like an e-doc, right? So I'm going to go ahead and hit print. Oh, let's see, one more time. Oh, maybe not. Let's see. Let's try an income statement. Maybe Google Drive doesn't want to work for me today. Here we go. There we go, guys. So go ahead and print it there. Again, save as PDF. So I'm saving it. Now this time it should actually open directly to Liscio Dispatch. Great. So I'm going to save it. And it's going to pop open Liscio Dispatch for me. And then what we're going to do is tag this. And this one, let's say, for example, I want to save this as private because it's not something I want to share with Leslie just yet. So tagging it is also really important, guys. You want to make sure that things stay categorized on your end. And I'm hitting the make private checkbox. And I'll show you guys what the difference is once we get into Liscio. So we'll hit upload, and then we're going to go straight to Liscio here. So when I click on my files tab on the left-hand side, we're going to see all of those files that were most recently uploaded at the very top. So you're going to see my income sheet right there. And I do want to point out, if you're not familiar with the private files, they do always have a lock icon next to them. So that's supposed to be your indicator, and they are not shared with clients. But for example, let's say that now I've done a little bit of work on this and I want to share this out with Leslie. I can actually do this via a message or a task. Either one is fine. So I'm going to hit message. I'm going to prep this message for Leslie. Choose the account, right? That's important. And what you guys are going to be able to do is actually choose to attach from Liscio Vault. And your files are going to be right there at the very top. So I'm actually going to grab that file and I'm going to attach it here. Now, you guys are always going to notice that it's always going to give you a warning when files are private, because it's going to tell you, hey, just so you know, this is going to be shared with the client, and then attach it. And you can also do this, guys, if you have an engagement letter, for example, in a system, and you want to print it directly to Liscio and send over for signature. So really nice process. So any questions, Emily, that you think we should answer about Liscio dispatch?
Let's take a look here. Somebody had a really good question here. Chelsea. It looks
Hi,
like
Kelsey.
yes, hi Chelsea. It looks like you have a question about files, if they stay in dispatch or is it just for uploading?
Okay, so she may mean the actual folder.
That's what I think.
So guys, when you have this Liscio dispatch folder open, you are going to see the sent to Liscio folder. Now you don't want to move files there. You just move it to your Liscio dispatch folder. And the system is actually automatically going to move it to sent to Liscio. But when you click in that sent to Liscio, you are going to have all of your files that you've moved to Liscio right here as well. So you will have a copy on your computer as well. I hope that makes sense.
One thing too, if you want to remove these because you don't want them on your computer, it's not going to affect what's in Liscio. So you can actually remove them here if you want to delete them out or off of your computer, I should say. Chelsea had another question about, is this dispatch folder the same one you share with everybody? The answer is no. If you're installing it locally, you are going to have it your own Liscio dispatch folder on your computer. TJ brought up a great point. I should have mentioned this earlier, so thank you. Some server environments are working just fine with Dispatch and Liscio for Outlook. He said that just with a little extra work, he was able to get it installed and using it fine. So we know that some are sharing it on their server. So you can also do that if it works for you. That's fantastic.
Perfect. Okay. And I wanted to answer Roberta's question. She wanted us to demonstrate that same process done as a task. So bringing a file in as a task. So I'm going to click add new, and let's say I do a request information task. Don't forget, you're always going to do your contact and you're always going to do your account. And then it's going to be the same process as a message. You are always going to attach from Liscio Vault if you're bringing something in from dispatch. So Liscio Vault here, and I am going to grab a file from my list and then upload it right here. So let's say PL landscaping and attach file there. So it'll be there as well. And then also when you go and look at that file later, you'll see the association. So who it was shared with essentially. Okay, let's see. All right, so any other questions, Emily, you think we should grab? Let's see. You guys are very engaged today. I appreciate all of the questions, guys.
Yes, there's lots of questions. I'm trying to go through them. So sorry for the wait on that. Let's see. So Tom has had a really good question. Hey, Tom, thanks for joining us today. Looks like we could use this to print returns and action require folders directly from UltraTax. That's correct. Yeah. You could from UltraTax save your documents to that dispatch folder. And then as Lindsay's showing you, bring them in to a task. You could save them in your vault and bring them into an eDoc, which is really great with 8879s.
Yep. Perfect. Okay. So there are a couple of questions on here that I think we'll leave until the end because they're going to be really good questions for the end. So I think now I'm going to turn it over to Emily. So I'm going to stop my share, and Emily, when you are ready, you can talk about a super exciting feature that I think you all are really going to like. Yes. Okay, so I'll stop my share. Are you ready, Emily?
Yes, 1 second.
Okay. You guys are so engaged today. I'm like, you guys must not be slowed down by the chocolate like I am, because like, I don't know about you guys, but I am ready. And yeah, I see a couple of questions. We'll definitely get to you guys there. So
we will. I was typing like a crazy woman. So now it's Lindsay's turn.
Yeah.
So
I know.
the next great
My fingers are gonna be moving fast.
Okay, so it's here, guys, and I'm sure that some of you have seen it and even installed it. And if you have, we hope you love it. Lissio for Outlook is available, but don't forget, we know that we have many Gmail users and we love you guys too. That is still on track to come out in Q1. So we did not forget about you. So what is Lissio for Outlook? So what it's going to allow you to do here is when you receive an email in your Outlook account, the integration is going to allow you to securely respond and share that information via Outlook, but via Lissio directly through your Outlook. And so from your Outlook inbox, you'll be able to send things into Lissio and get them out of your siloed email inbox. So what can we do with the Lissio for Outlook integration? Well, you can do several things. You can actually respond to an email via Lissio and even bring attached documents right over with that message. You can create tasks. That's not just going to be your to-dos internally, but as you can see, virtual meetings, you could actually create a Zoom meeting right out of an email. You could even create a task for your client with an email. And then you can do internal notes as well. So again, we list here attachments transfer over to Liscio, and I'll show you all of that here next. So let's pop into Liscio for Outlook. Now you can do this on your desktop app. I'm going to do all of the examples here in my browser in the web app, but you can do this on your desktop app. And the lovely Lindsay has created a wonderful YouTube video. So we have all of the instructions on the YouTube channel. And if you go to your help center in Liscio, type in Liscio for Outlook, we have troubleshooting guides, videos, everything, all you'll need. So once you install Liscio for Outlook, you are going to see it here. If you're on the desktop app, it's going to be on your top taskbar. If you're in the web app, you click the three little dots once you're in an email, and you'll have Liscio for Outlook. Now, a really cool tip here, pin it. That way, if you're going between several different emails, it's going to just hang out right here on the right-hand side, so you can choose what you want to send over to Liscio. It's not going to sync sending all of the information through. You'll actually be able to select what important information needs to go to Liscio. So let's start here with sending a message. So we get an email from Nathan. One thing that this Liscio for Outlook integration is going to help with is really cutting down time. So you no longer have to copy paste information from email into Liscio, download the PDF, re-upload. Let's say we have Nathan, maybe he's, maybe he's just struggling a little bit remembering to use Liscio. So we're going to help out with adoption. We don't want to respond via email, so we're going to do it via Liscio. Encourage Nathan to use Liscio. So we're going to send a message. And you're going to notice right away the to field. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually search for Nathan. Now, if he doesn't exist in Liscio yet, you can actually create a contact right from this space here. Otherwise, if he is in Liscio, I search his name and I will be able to select his contact. And of course, as you know, account is really important. If they are tied to several accounts, it's not going to auto-populate like this. Nathan's tied to one account. So you want to make sure you're always selecting an account. And then you want to make sure you click add. So we have our contact here. Now you can notice that you can add another person if you'd like. Now, what's really nice is it's going to give you the same subject line here that was in the email. So that'll be nice when Nathan sees his notification with the exact same subject line he sent you an email come through Liscio. Then he's going to start to realize, oh, okay, they're responding in Liscio. I have to log in to see what's going on here. Then all of the email description is going to be stored right here. And then you'll notice the attachment. You can remove those or you can keep all of that information if it needs to find its way to Liscio. So then if I want to respond, I can actually just put my cursor right in this description box, give myself a little space, and then just say, hi, Nathan. Let's talk about what's left for payroll. And your response is going to go right through to him via Liscio without having to respond at all in email. And then you click send. Before we move on to other examples, Lindsay, any questions?
Yes. One question is about servers for Liscio for Outlook. We have Melanie mentioning it doesn't work within their servers. Is there anything new to help them solve this, or do you have any advice for that?
Definitely. So anybody working in a server environment that says they are not able to use Liscio for Outlook or Dispatch, please send an email to support letting us know which server environment you're using or hosting environment. even some screenshots or just a description of what you're seeing, so we can keep track of that. And like we mentioned earlier, we are working on it. So the more detail we can get from you guys, we'll be able to learn more about what you're experiencing, and then we can keep in touch with you. So please let support know, what you're using, and reach out to us.
Perfect. And then we have another question, mentioning that they haven't been able to set it up yet, they have been able to set it up, but their employees have not. Asking us if we can guide them through it. And I will respond by saying, we have a YouTube video. We actually, yeah. So we do have, we have a YouTube video showing you how to set it up on the desktop version of Outlook, and then also on the web version of Outlook. So check out those videos to kind of walk you and feel free to send it to your team. You're actually going to get that video as a link in the resource package if you opt into our poll at the very end. So we will send you guys those video links, and then just shoot them out to your employees. And obviously, if you have any troubles setting it up, contact support. We'll chat with you.
Yes, definitely. And if you're on a server environment, hosting environment, and you want to install these locally, you can. In the meantime, I know that people who are waiting for those server environments, for these features to be able to be used in those server environments, some people are installing it all locally. Feel free to do that. Then you can at least, get used to the feature and enjoy some of the benefits of it while we're working on providing it for those environments.
Perfect. Okay.
You move on?
Yep, I believe so. Yes.
Okay, then I'm going to send that message off to Nathan. And we'll get a confirmation here that it has been sent. Sent successfully. So I just wanted to show you an example of how to respond in a message via the Liscio for Outlook. But this is actually also a great example of a task. Nathan's saying, hey, here's one bit of payroll. What else do you need from me? This is a really great example of why you would want to use a request information task. So I'm going to create task. And again, I have my choice here, several different tasks, but I want to do a request information. Now I can even select the due date. Let's say we need payroll information before the holidays hit. So I want him to get this to me by the 23rd. And I'm going to add him as a contact. And then his account populates because he's tied to only one account. Now I can leave this subject line if I'd like, add that description. I want to keep the file there and say, please send remaining payroll hours.
Wow, so slow typer there, huh?
What'd you say?
I said slow typer there. Wow. Just kidding.
Okay, so I just got a new keyboard today and I can't use it. So I'm sorry, guys.
Totally fair. So I actually have a really great question from Carol that we can just answer right here.
Yeah.
She's asking, what happens to the attachment once you reply using Lissio for Outlook?
Ooh, yes. I'm going to send this task through, and then let's pop over to Lissio to take a look. So we have all of our information here for the task. We have the attachment. Now keep in mind, we have contact and account there. I'm going to create the task. It's going to confirm with me that it has been created. And then once we're done here, I'm going to pop over to Lissio. So as you know, Nathan's getting a notification via email and via push notification if he has the app. And I can also see on the task page here that I just created this less than a minute ago. So what happens to all of this information? We click into the task here. We have that subject line, what I need from Nathan here, plus what he's already sent me. And here's that file. Now, remember that Lissio is going to store the files under the contact and account here. So actually a nice new little feature that I hope you guys are all really excited about is from a task and an inbox message, you can now jump directly into a contact or an account by hovering over them, as you can see here. So I'm going to hover over contact Nathan, jump into his contact record. I see that task here. And I see the file that was attached right here. Then you can go in and add additional tags and so forth. But just like as if you were putting everything into Lissio directly, it's all going to be stored in the file section and the task section.
That's awesome. And we did have, I just wanted to answer, Nicole had a question. She said she missed the first 25 minutes. Nicole, we will be, again, you're just giving me more reasons to plug our YouTube channel. So thank you. We are going to be posting this webinar to our YouTube channel, either later today or tomorrow. If you're not yet subscribed, go to Licio CX on YouTube and subscribe. Wow, I'm just a natural at this. And you're actually going to be notified whenever there's a new video that's uploaded. And then if you need any help with Lissio Dispatch or Lissio for Outlook, we do have videos on that as well. But if you need help after you viewed those resources, definitely give us a shout. Okay.
Lindsay, you should really get an agent for your acting career.
I absolutely should. You are right. You are so right. You're welcome, Nicole.
Okay, let's pop back over here. Now, why not? Let's go to a different email here. You'll see when it's pinned, I have the exact same taskbar up here, or the Lissio for Outlook right here. Now we get something here from Lindsay via email. She's forwarding us some information. Now, maybe we want to create an internal note. So we can go ahead and create note, and it's the exact same concept, guys. You're going to add the contact. So let's just go with Stephanie here. And now look at this. Stephanie does not have an account auto-populating because she's tied to several different accounts. This is where you need to make sure that you add an account so it's all stored correctly in Lissio. So let's say this is for her art exhibit. Now, maybe I don't really want my title of my note to be screen recording, so maybe I just call it QB issue. Maybe I don't want the recording sent into Lissio, so I can actually take that attachment off. And I can start making my own notes. Talked to Leslie, sorted things out. Put all your notes that you might need for the next time you meet with Leslie, or if she calls to talk to somebody else on your team, they have all the notes right there. I can easily bring all this information right into Lissio for an internal note so my entire team is up to speed. Questions on that at all?
We actually have a question. I'm not sure of the answer, but you may. This is from Joe. He's asking if he downloads. Oh, wait, actually, I do know this answer. Yeah, because I saw it the other day. So he's asking if I download Lissio for Outlook, will it automatically create it for the web and the desktop, or does it need to be installed twice? The answer is it will create it for both. That's correct, right, Emily? Just
Yes.
wanted to be sure. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did want to. We may not know the answer to this, but I did want to. I wanted to bring up Caleb, his question. He said it doesn't appear that add-ins are available for the new Outlook for Mac. Do you know have you heard anything about that so far? We're not, Caleb, we're not Mac users, so we're not sure, but Chris is, so we can check with him.
I have not heard anything about Mac, but I would like to mention that our help center that has the Lissio for Outlook instructions has a troubleshooting guide. And there actually is a specific bit of information about if you do not see the option for add-ins. So I highly recommend you going and reading our troubleshooting on our help center. Look for Lissio for Outlook and just read about, if you're not seeing add-ins, what do I do next? We have a lot of really good step-by-step information, plus an additional Microsoft article. Try to go through those steps. If you're still not seeing it after that, definitely reach out. We want to make sure that our support team can get you up and running.
Yeah, and Caleb, I will say as well, we are going to include that article in our resource package at the end. So be sure you opt into that because you'll get that. And then I wanted to answer, there are two questions that I wanted to answer. So one is from Pamela. So she's asking, so the create notes is only for the employee to see. Is Stephanie Andrews an employee?
Oh, great question.
Yeah, I know. I like that. It's very good.
So no, Stephanie is a client. She's a contact. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually saying I want this note stored under this contact and this account. So that way, if Stephanie Andrews were to ever call our firm and maybe I wasn't available, Lindsay could pick up the phone and check out the notes section under Stephanie and see, okay, I see Emily just helped you. I see this is what you guys did. Let's try these next steps. So it's completely internal. We're just storing it under this contact.
Perfect. And I wanted to also answer one of Roberta's questions. She's asking, when you respond through Liscio, using the Liscio for Outlook integration, is there any indication on your original email in Outlook that you responded or that says you replied?
No.
That's what I thought. But Roberta, that message that you sent will be in your sent box in Liscio.
Right. You're going to get a confirmation down here that task message note has been created, but it's not going to have anything in Outlook. As you can see, I just used this one here a bit ago, and there's no stamp or anything like that about Liscio. So when you're done with it, you could just archive it or delete it if it has sensitive information. You don't want it sitting in your inbox. Get rid of it because now it's securely in Liscio.
Also, Benita says hi. Hi, Benita.
Hi.
Hello.
So I just want to show you really quickly. If I pop back into Liscio here, I'm going to go to Stephanie. And if I go to her internal notes section, there's that note. So just the internal team has access to this.
Yep. So remember, guys, notes are internal only. You can still tie them to the contact in the account, though, so things stay organized. You guys have really great questions. Thank you guys so much for being so engaged. Seriously, it helps all of us learn. It helps me learn.
Okay, do we have anything else we want to talk about for Liscio for Outlook? Or are we ready to go on to the next bit?
I think we're ready to go on to the next. I think we're good.
Okay, let's pop over here then.
Oh, here we go. Hey,
here.
Another YouTube reference. So I just wanted to point this out for any of the new users on this call. And then also if you guys are planning on hiring anyone soon, we have a new updated training video for 2021 on our YouTube video now. You're also going to see, I'm getting pretty good at YouTube, guys. I figured out how to put chapters on there so you guys can actually watch per section. If you have not watched this training video, you're going to see a different side of me that you never know. But
I prefer that side of you.
Yeah. But this is actually great for if you're a brand new user. This is going to walk you through pretty much the entire basics of Lissio. It's going to walk you through everything. There's a lot of information. And then if you guys are hiring new people and you want to catch them up on what Lissio is, this training video is going to be perfect for that. We did update it recently. We added some new information on the file section because we changed some stuff, the profile section. We also added in Lissio Dispatch and Lissio for Outlook. So feel free to take a look at that there.
Leslie had earlier asked about some really good things for new beginners. So definitely check this out, Leslie. I'll make sure I send it to you as well.
Yes, this is really, really great for new users. Yeah, highly recommend. Oh, look at that. Look at that, guys. So this is a new feature that we have in testing right now. I have a video that I'm waiting to drop for you guys as well. So we have a Google Drive integration coming soon. So it's in testing.
Ooh.
Yes, it's very exciting. So Emily was just going to walk you guys through very briefly how it works. We're not going to go in super deep to it, but just briefly kind of show you guys what's up.
Yeah, so Lindsay mentioned we are in testing. This is our beta version. It's not released just yet, but it's almost ready. And so same thing that you've been doing these last few months with our other wonderful integrations, third-party apps connect to Google Drive. So really easy. Lindsay's just about to drop a step-by-step video. We'll have more information on our help center as well when it's released. So if you have once you have the integration added, you can go to task, message, file, eDoc, really anywhere you want to bring a file into Lissio, you will go to the attachment section, click browse. And if you only have Google Drive, you'll have Google Drive right there. I have both set up. So I then just click on Google Drive and it's going to quickly show me all of my folders that exist within Google Drive. So it's really nice. I can click into each folder, find exactly what I'm looking for. I can search and I can also see what has been shared with me. Now, one thing I would like to mention is we are not bringing any proprietary Google files in. So like Google Sheets, Google Docs, those aren't going to be brought into Lissio. We're actually going to not allow this to be uploaded. If you want to collaborate on a Google Doc or a Google Sheet, that can only be done within Lissio. So, or excuse me, it can only be done within Google. So if you want to share and collaborate on Google Sheets or Docs or Google Slides, any type of files like that, just send it through your typical Google sharing. Doesn't make sense to put it in Listio because you can't collaborate on it. So with all of that being said, I can go ahead and grab something here. Let's see, I have I had one, so let's see what we have here. Okay, I think this one's not going to allow me because it's not a PDF. So let's go ahead and look up something like this. Okay, I have a PDF here. I'm going to select it and it's going to allow me to bring it directly into Lissio. So very quick and easy. You don't have to download it or grab that link and paste it. You can actually just bring those documents right in to Lissio here. Now, if you wanted to share a link to a Google Sheet or a Google slide that you want somebody to see, you can always just grab that link and paste it into Lissio like you've done in the past.
Yeah, and one thing I was going to mention, guys, is when you're searching in Google Drive, if you want to bring in more than one file at a time, you can hold Control on your keyboard and select the files that you want. So you can bring in more than one.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Great.
Yeah, so that's going to be out hopefully really soon. We're excited. And I do have a video that I'm ready to drop for you guys as soon as it's ready. So we have, I guess we can go on to the next. Oh yeah. So we do have, I wanted to mention, I know a few of you guys have asked about, you had some roadmap questions, right? When is this coming? When's this coming? We are going to be hosting a special edition, Lindsay and Emily and Lindsay show, Lindsay and Emily, whichever way, a roadmap webinar in January. So join us on that. We're going to talk a lot about roadmap and we're going to have a special guest with us on there as well. And I did want to answer, I wanted to answer Julie's question because she's just giving me another way to plug the YouTube channel. She's asking if there is a link to our YouTube channel on the Help Center page. She said, I tend to wind up there and forget you have a channel. So Emily, do we have a link on our knowledge base or do we just typically embed videos into articles?
We'll embed videos right into articles. So if you're looking for a topic, that video will already be attached to that article. But Julie, I love that idea. I'm going to see what I can do.
Perfect. I love it even more. And then we had a question from Caleb that I just wanted to answer. He's asking, what is the date and time of that January webinar? It's tentative right now, but we are planning for January 14th, I believe at noon Pacific. That's what we're planning. We typically do it on Thursdays at noon. It's a good time. It's a good time for me because my stomach just starts to rumble towards the end as I'm getting hungry. But that's a tentative. We'll be sending invites out later on. Let's see.
I wanted to answer Karen's question about Google Drive. She asked if only PDFs can be brought in. No, you can bring any other files in. So some people will use Google Drive for storage of other documents, other types of files. You can bring any of those in. It's just the Google proprietary files that that we're not going to have brought in, like the typical sheets, slides, Google Doc, things like that.
Got it. Okay. All right.
On to the next one.
Next one, please. Poll. You guys know what this is?
I'm so surprised. Oh, a poll.
A poll. Who knew? So we're going to do a resource package poll. You guys have probably, for those of you that have been on these webinars before, you guys know what this is. So the resource package, let me just talk briefly about what that's going to have in it. It is going to have links for you all to the YouTube videos that are going to show you how to install Liscio Dispatch, how to install Liscio for Outlook, both on the web and desktop. We're going to have those Microsoft articles. We're going to look, we have some FAQ guides and stuff like that in there. And we'll also send you guys the slides to the webinar in case you want them too. We always like to include those. So you can either have us send it via email to you or via Liscio. Either one is fine. You guys just take your pick. And then I wanted to
Caitlin's question is good.
Yes. Yeah. You'll probably know the answer to that. So Caitlin's asking, is Microsoft SharePoint going to be integrated at some point? I'll leave that to Emily.
Yes. That is something that we will work towards. So we will have an integration for that likely next year.
Perfect. Okay, great. So it looks like we may end a little bit early today, guys. Just enough time for me to spend 10 minutes eating chocolate, you know?
Okay, I'm going to close the poll here. I'll give you one more moment. I think everyone's done voting.
Did you see Santara? Santara's on this, and Santara said, which one of you gets a lump of coal from Santa? Santara, you tell me. So
Which
if
one
you
of
guys,
us? You and I?
yeah, we get a lump of coal. So if you don't know, Santara is one of our Lissio employees, and I see you on here, Santara. I see you.
I'm gonna vote Lindsay because I don't want coal.
Come on, I don't want it. Also, Carol, yes, Carol had a great question. She said, please add the uninstall Lissio desktop app video to the resource package. I will absolutely do that for you, Carol.
Ooh,
Absolutely.
yes.
Yes. So I think, let's see, what question, did you see Benita's question about Pro Series? Benita, would you mind asking that question again for us about Pro Series? It may have gotten lost in the shuffle. So send that question in for us and we'll get that answered for you. But yeah, guys, a lot of the questions about upcoming roadmap features, we will cover all of those on the January roadmap. Oh, okay, so Benita's question is, can I print to Lissio directly from Pro Series? Yes. So any system that you're using, if they have a print to PDF function, you can print to Lissio Dispatch. And the videos will help you kind of show you how to do that as well. And then obviously, guys, if you guys have, questions or need help after you watch those videos or check out our resources, obviously come to us and we'll be happy to help you guys out. So I think we can give you guys back 9 minutes of your day. I think that's fine. And it's enough time for me to eat chocolate. So
And it's enough time for them too. So
oh, look at that. Look at that. We need to keep account of how many times I can plug this in one webinar. So, again, guys, I seriously recommend subscribing to Lissio CX because you guys are going to get notified as soon as a new feature drops. It's going to show you how to install it, how to use it, and it should get you guys off on the right foot as soon as a new feature is dropped. So, and all of our webinars will be posted there too. Oh, Rob said subscribe to number 291. Thank you. Can we get to 300? Give me a Christmas present, guys. Get me to 300 subscribers. I would love that. That would just make my day. So
I do want to plug the Facebook page as well, Liscio CX. If you want to join conversations with Liscio users, everyone is really awesome on there. They're really vocal, have a lot of great questions. They'll help answer questions. Our team is there. We love to talk with you guys. So please join our Facebook page and talk with Liscio users, ask questions, give us feedback.
It's a great resource for you guys. You guys will see, polls on there, webinar announcements and stuff like that. So definitely check out Liscio CX on Facebook too. So thank you guys so much for joining. It's always such a pleasure to have you guys on webinars. You guys are always so engaging and we really appreciate you guys showing up. And we hope that they're useful for you guys too. And that you guys can see Emily and I acting.
And you don't just love our witty, awesome.
And then look at the surprise guest that we have, guys. Wave to Allison. So Allison wanted to be a little lurker for us today.
I've been lurking quietly. Yeah.
But
it is an awesome, this is so much fun. And I love the questions. I just have to say, I absolutely love the questions. We'll actually be capturing those so that we can create more and better, content for you. Because the questions that you're asking is, of course, what new users are thinking and asking, so it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Gordon is asking, where do we subscribe to YouTube? I just love how often you guys set me up. So let me pull this up for you guys. I'm just going to show you exactly.
You can put the link in the chat.
Yes.
And then people can just click directly on it.
Yes. So here's the link, guys, in chat. Oh, there's one of my videos playing. Here's the link in chat, guys. That is where you can find us on YouTube. And all you're going to do is hit the subscribe button. It's a red subscribe button, and you're going to get notified whenever there are new videos that are dropped. So you guys are great. Thank you for allowing me to plug it so many times in one webinar. All right, guys. Well, we'll give you guys back about 5 minutes of your day. Thank you guys so much again for joining, and we hope you have a relaxing and wonderful holiday. So we'll talk to you guys.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.